Whoa, hit it a little early that day. Wow. What's up, guys? Happy Friday to you. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the crypto market update. Today is Friday, January 3rd, 2025. Profit taking Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully your accounts are up. Hopefully your altcoin positions are healthy and generous. And hopefully you are enjoying this nice boon that we are getting through the start of the new year. This is your crypto market update. We're going to have a great show for you guys today. Shout outs to all the early chatters. Before we begin, today's opening rant is going to be about profit taking. All right. Now, this is exactly what I wrote about in this morning's alpha report. It is very hard to be the master of your own mind and psychology. It is the biggest trick. It is the hardest challenge to overcome. Once you learn all the fundamentals of technical trading, which you can do in a boot camp, and you continue to learn and grow. But once you learn the fundamentals, like, hey, shouldn't buy when the RSI is oversold or overbought, you know what I mean? Higher highs and higher lows, moving averages. Kind of once you all understand that, the technical aspects are pretty good. Structuring trades, right, or kind of getting an idea of what direction a trade is going to go in or the market is likely to go in is not that difficult. What is difficult is identifying pivot points, right? That's harder. And structuring a trade with risk management can be harder for stop loss placement, because that is a slightly more advanced skill that you will just get better at as you progress in discretionary trading. Where's the proper place for my stop loss? Or alternatively, something that will evolve as you grow with your strategy. Like, okay, you're looking at the numbers. Okay, statistically, when my stop loss is set like this, how often do I win the trade, or how often does a winning trade get stopped out? A potentially winning trade get stopped out. All right, what happens if I increase my stop loss distance? All right, does the upside, you have to balance that, does the upside of the trades that I hit counteract the additional losses from the lower stop loss from the losing trades that we're going to be losers no matter what? All right, so again, different ways you can get better with your proficiency in that aspect when it comes to your trading. But when it comes to what we're all here for, all right, what a lot of you are here for, which is the altcoin season, the big cycles, the big wins, the go in, the high risk, the high reward, let's go. When it comes to those positions and longer term positional trades is what I call them, positions that you plan to hold for 6 months or longer, it's very difficult to determine when to take profit when the market is soaring. Because when the market is soaring, those greed glands start tickling and juicing down into your brain, especially if you then make the mistake of going over and looking at the USD value of your portfolio and you're like, holy shnikes. Imagine if we got a couple of more of those big greenies, you know what I'm saying? And then from that point on, your thinking is clouded and you should not trust your own judgment. All right, it is very, very difficult for most people to take profit on the way up, just like it is very difficult for most people to dollar cost average in on the way down. It's very difficult. But it's what you need to do. You need to become the master of your own self. You're not going to be able to call the market top every single cycle that I've been in. All right, I was pretty enthusiastically bullish near market highs. All right, and everybody else that I know too. All right. It's always after the fact that we're like, that was the top. So you want to be pre-planned for this and be taking profits on the way up. All right. And a good way to avoid this is to have a general idea, or a more specific idea, more specifically, of where you want to be taking profits, realistic profit targets. All right. Are you entering into a low cap coin? All right. Is it early on and it hasn't had significant price movement yet? Well, then a 5 or 10x is reasonable. All right. Are you entering into a mid cap coin? All right, something that's already had some significant price appreciation. Maybe a 2 to 3x is the best you're going to get out of it. Are you entering into a high cap coin? You're talking something like Solana, Chainlink, Ethereum. Well, 100% return is a lot. You know what I mean? Doubling your money is a lot. So maybe we should be more realistic with those price targets. All right. You should be doing this process when you enter into a trade, before you enter into a trade, not afterwards. All right. It's not a good idea to buy something on hype or even a signal with no clear expectation of where you intend to take profit. Because when we get to that point, if you are lucky, if you are successful with your analysis and price does indeed move up within your timeline, and we get to those highly vaunted levels of profitability, you're not going to want to take profit. You're going to want to hold on. It is also the same you that will resist seeing signs of market tops as the market is pulling back. And you'll be like, oh, this is just a correction. It's just a pullback. It's just a correction. But by that point, you're already down 40, 50% from the highs, and you're thinking, well, there's no way I could sell at this loss, even though you're up, right? So it's very difficult. And you want to avoid that. You want to avoid that entirely. You want to have a strength, you want to have a plan, you want to have a strategy, and you want to put that strategy into action. You do not want to be blindly buying and selling and hoping the price will go up. And this is most individuals in the crypto market. They buy and just kind of blindly hope the price will go up. And then when price does go up, they tend to fumble the bag. I don't want you guys to fumble the bag. I want 2025 to be a year of unmitigated prosperity and wealth creation. All right. As I talked about in Wednesday's report, I do believe. If you guys are not, if you're not watching this from the calm sandy beaches of Curacao, Barbados, Aruba, if your biggest problem right now is not how do I divvy up all of my wealth, okay, if that's not your biggest problem right now, then you're still trying to make it. All right, you are still here in the trenches, grinding, trying to get a little bit better every day, trying to turn your $1.15 into $10.25, if you know what I'm saying. Diversification is not going to get you there. Diversification is a great way to hold on to wealth, spreading your risk out broadly. It's not a good way to make punctuated gains in the crypto markets. So spend the majority of your time analyzing and strategizing and not buying and selling. You should be buying and selling little. You should be thinking a lot. Strategizing and planning, having a clear plan for every position that you open, period. That is the pathway to success. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, a couple of housekeeping things before we begin. We do, of course, whoa, what are we doing? Why are we over here? We do, of course, do the show every weekday, Monday through Friday, from noon to 2 Central Standard Time, here harbored safely in the Midwest, far away from the effects of climate change and far away from the polluting effect of the toxic fog spreading across the country. Far away from the World Economic Forum, too. If you want to support what we're doing, make sure to like and subscribe. You can watch us on YouTube, Rumble, and X, of course. As we progress, if you have any chart requests, things you'd like to talk about, sarcastic remarks, hot tickers, or insults, feel free to drop them in the chat. I will try to respond to them as timely as possible. If you want those daily insights delivered to your inbox every day, if you do want to receive that alpha report, head on over, sign up for the newsletter. It is completely free, data-driven research to keep you armed and dangerous in the crypto markets. That is the first link in the description that you will find down below. On YouTube, on Rumble, I think it's the second link because maybe I didn't edit that, but it's down there. It's probably the first link. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get popping. We've got a lot to cover. Shout outs to the early chatters. I see Mud, Alex, Timmy, Rick. That's who I see. It's okay. It's all right. Good thing to see you guys. We had Mud in first. We've got Alex, of course, LFG, Super Cycle. Aside from taking a good chunk out, if this next leg keeps going, I plan to sell a small amount in daily and DC. See, I love to hear that. That is a beautiful thing to hear. Tell me if you guys also like the new lighting. It's called the sun. I have this window right here in front of my, not in front of, it's on the other side of the room, but at this time of the day, just lets in the best light. And as I'm rewatching the streams, I was kind of going for that, well lit, you know what I mean, but dark like behind, but that doesn't really work too well with the backdrop behind me. So overall, I think this is better. A little bit of sun glare, but hopefully you guys enjoy. But you didn't come here to watch me. You came here to watch this. Okay, I did, of course, put out this BTC long signal this morning for the Crypto Trading Academy members. Overall, doing pretty good. Has not hit the first TP yet, but I do believe we will steadily get there. And we, of course, are on that road to 10,000. Started off with 1,000 and currently sitting at 1,600. So overall, up 60% so far in the trading account. And we will just continue to grind away at this on stream day in and day out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with our macro, of course. Okay. Big picture, things are looking pretty good. All right. Obviously, where is Bitcoin at in the cycle? Right at the 50th percentile. Where is Bitcoin at in the cycle? Nowhere near the top. Volatility is trending down a little bit. All right. On the 4-hour time frame, nothing too concerning there. Not at a volatility high, indicating that maybe exiting positions would be good. Not at a volatility low. So overall, this is pretty good. Not seeing any volatility risk at current prices. Stablecoin dominance is breaking down as expected. We have now put in a lower low. We did not have a lower low at the time of the alpha report this morning, but we do now have that lower low now. Again, we don't want to get too excited about this, but I am a little excited about this because we had an attempt at pop-up and stablecoin dominance. We do want to keep in mind that we are at that long-term support where the market did reverse back in March. Additionally, we also have the fundamental catalyst or the fundamental aspect of the Fed giving that hawkish signal just as they did in March, which sent us into the summer doldrums. So when this chart goes up, crypto goes down. When this chart goes down, crypto goes up. As we can see, we put in a strong bottoming pattern here and popped back up, making a higher high. But hopefully this is just a lower low and we continue moving on down for alt season. All right. That's all I'll say there. Tentatively optimistic about that. Bitcoin and stables dominance. Are we in alt season? Well, this is a big drop down in Bitcoin and stables dominance. So a lot of enthusiasm moving into the alt cycle here so far. We called the bottom here. All right. We called the top here, and we are looking for a movement down and ideally the continuation of alt season, which it looks like we are getting as we move into January. All right. Altcoin price performance relative to Bitcoin looking very good. Breaking above the 200 period simple moving average. Of course, we were in this long downtrend. Typically, when we do break above the 200 period simple moving average, we do get some nice trends. All right. Now this one, what was nice about this one is that if you look over here, the last time, and this was in August of 2023, and we kind of had that last the last significant alt cycle, right? And we appreciated significantly from August all the way through until about March of 2024, until we entered the summer doldrums. What is exciting about this is, yes, we are in a long-term downtrend, but if you look at how quickly we spiked up to test that long-term diagonal resistance trend line after crossing the 200 period moving average, look how long it took over here. It was the grind to the trend line diagonal resistance that swatted us down, okay? And then putting in a lower high. But over here, we just made a dot. We just drove for it, okay? So either, this says to me, either this was a fluke and the top is in, or this was just that we've probably never seen this much excitement and hype around altcoins, and that we are maybe for the first time since 2022, or maybe first time since January of 2022, the end of previous cycle, going to be making a higher high, a big picture higher high in this metric. I'm pretty excited about that. So again, nice pullback, finding support at that 200 EMA. 200 SMA, excuse me. And so bags should be packed for continuation. Next targets on this time frame are, of course, going to be around 4.12 million and about 4.75 million. Those numbers don't matter. They're just there for reference. But overall, looking good. High or low in time transformation here. So that looks very promising. Very strong performance from altcoins today, up about 4% relative to Bitcoin. Getting to Bitcoin, the big daddy of them all, of course, starting off on the weekly time frame. Now, we do have to assert with the fact that we did get a hawkish stance from the Fed, and we had 2 weeks of pullback and a pretty significant negative 10% candle immediately following that Fed, even though we got the hawkish cut, all right, as we're now referring to it. Again, this is very similar fundamentally to what we saw over here with hawkishness from the Fed coming in around the middle of March, or it's actually toward the end of March, at the March FOMC back in 2024. And we have a similar situation now. Again, I have speculated that it will not be until March or May that the Fed actually pivots dovish, but there are so many unknowns about that because we do, of course, basically have the front running of Trump's inauguration. So again, the scenarios that I talked about and laid out, we should be long, okay? We should be long. The only thing we want to be concerned about, we should have a bullish first 2 weeks of January. The only thing we want to be concerned about is a potential bull trap here in the $100,000 to $105,000 range. Okay, putting in a lower high or maybe even a double top. And then entering into, again, something like a 30% correction, fulfilling that basic head and shoulders target, coming down here and filling the CME gap, and basically enter, but not all in one fell swoop. All right, that's not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is something like the winter doldrums or the summer doldrums, and entering in something like the winter doldrums, where we did see a 35% correction from the peak before we ended up breaking out. Now, one thing that is a little different about this, okay, is that we did have basically almost 2 months of downwards price pressure on the weekly time frame that basically was the, even though you can't say that's an early warning sign, but then we pumped back up, but that was the warning sign for the summer doldrums. All right, so far we just had a pretty sharp move downwards in 1 week, and then a pretty weak consolidation week, and now a very strong move to the upside. So again, I'm still concerned about a potential bull trap between 100 and 105. That's why I like being long now, because then I don't have to scramble and try to get a breakout trade up here and then face chop. I can more independently evaluate. I can take some profit at 100, 105, and then I can more independently evaluate, because I'll have money in the bank and my stop, I'll be in a no-loss situation, and I always think clearer. My analysis is always better. I always trade better when I don't feel pushed to the wall. All right. So, I don't like to be in a situation where I feel like I have to act quickly. Usually bad trades come from that. So again, I like that setup right here. Other than that, we do have that nice bounce off the 10 weekly exponential moving average, which is exactly what happened the last time we pulled back, and basically is what's going to happen in a strong uptrend. Price will pull back to the 10 period weekly moving average and then continuation. So again, this is shaping up to be very good. Weekly momentum did not turn bearish. All right, we did have a pullback, but again, we've right back above the RSI moving average, and bullish momentum is rising to the upside. So again, this is shaping up to be potentially just a correction, but we do want to be cautious, we do want to be careful, but we do want to be long. We do want to be long. Okay, daily time frame. Again, nice pullback here that we had, right back to our strong level of support that we've tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, around 92,000. So very strong support here. We do not want to see a breakdown of this level, big picture. If we start to creep back down here below 93,000, it's not a pullback, it's bearish. All right, it's not no. We don't need to test support 6 times. The more we test support, the weaker it gets. All right, so again, 93,000 is I'm out. If we start getting back down below 93,000, I'm likely only going to be interested in shorting Bitcoin, to probably approximately between $85,000 and $80,000. So that's where we're at right there. We're not really at a big risk so far here on the daily of price doing a big parabolic movement yet, because so there's nothing to miss out on, but we do want to be positioned in case that does happen. So why are we not at risk for that? Because we don't have our slow guppies above our fast guppies, and it is literally impossible for price to break out and go into price discovery if that's not the case. Price actually has to be up for it to go up higher. I know this is a challenging concept, but as I talked about, everybody down here was really worried about, like, well, if I don't enter here, I'll miss out on this trade. No, that's not the case. Daily momentum has turned back up to the upside as well, back in the bullish control zone, as some like to say. We are coming up to resistance at approximately $100,000. I have 99,760 on the chart because that's kind of the price point right there. But that is we are probably going to see some profit taking there. Probably a pullback at that point in time. I would just love to see price hold above 94,000 on that pullback. Otherwise, I start to get a little nervous. But overall, looking pretty good on the daily time frame so far. Just a pullback to support. On the 4-hour time frame, looking quite strong. Price, as I said, as I said in not yesterday's, Tuesday's stream, as I said in Tuesday's stream, we wanted to wait for for price to break, or maybe I did say it in yesterday's stream. We wanted to wait for price to break above the $95,000 level for confirmation. That did happen, so I don't know why you're not long yet. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. We did have a nice push back up, a higher high, and so far a higher low on the 4-hour time frame. Encountering now the 4-hour 200 SMA, which did act as resistance here and here. So again, probably entering into a little bit of a resistance area right here, but Bitcoin showing quite a lot of strength here on the 4-hour time frame. Not overbought on this time frame either, but we weren't here, and we only really got overbought here. So I think we actually still have room to go on the 4-hour time frame. As far as the hourly is concerned, we'll now start looking at VRVP targets. We did did we hit it yet? No, we have not yet hit my price target, which is going to be 98,500 approximately. We just a little bit shy of it. I think we're probably likely going to hit it here in just a few moments, live on stream. But overall, the hourly does look good. Again, we are probably going to see some consolidation here, or I'd say volatility between 97,000, let's say 98,000 and between 99,000, because again, that is just where we have our volume profile right here. So we had a lot of individuals enter short here. They're going to be covering. We had a lot of individuals probably long here. They're going to be selling. This is an area of interest. So again, we've had a nice push. As we can see, we did just push very cleanly from this high volume node right here to this high volume node right here, clearing through this low volume node very, very, very quickly. So again, we've now entered just a slightly different market structure area. So again, I don't think right now, it's not a technically good area to be longing for the skies. You do want, this was the area to be entering for pushes to the upside. So I would at this point I would probably wait a little bit, wait for some of this to clear out. I do have a second profit target of about 99,000. What is it? Where are my orders? 99,600 is going to be the other 50% of my position here. So if we did have a pullback, I would likely be looking to enter somewhere in this low volume node between 99,966, 97,816 is where I'd be looking for a pullback, which is essentially just be a pullback to the aggressive EMAs on the 1-hour time frame. A little bit more clarity. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame. All right. As we can see, just about to hit the target, pushing up into the high value zone of the day. Something I guess I did forget to mention. We'll have to look at the 4-hour time frame for that. Yeah, so as you can see here, we're basically coming up to the top of this 4-hour volume profile. So the next liquidity zone above us is going to be 100,100 or 100,954 to about 102,000. So that's the big picture. For the bulls, we want to see price go from this range of approximately 95,800 to 98,862. Probably chop around in here for a little bit and then eventually make that breakout, move very quickly from 99,600 up to 100,800, 100,900. So again, the next liquidity zone that we're likely going to be headed for after a little bit of chop here and volatility is going to be, as I said, 100,800, 100,900 to about 102,000. All right. And again, we'll get there, chop around for a little bit, pull back maybe, grab stops, and then up to the next. This is just literally how market structure evolves. You can see it play out here. Price goes from liquidity zones and stops moving around for a little bit to liquidity zones, stops moving around for a little bit to liquidity zones, stop moving around for a little bit, and then it bounces back and forth between liquidity. It's just literally the way price works. It's how the market works. It's how. Okay. 30-minute time frame. Again, strong uptrend intact on the 30-minute time frame. Higher high on this metric. Pull back to our 30-minute momentum guppies. I do have marked out, basically now we have to consider where our low volume nodes are. So now that we've reached a new high volume node area, we want to be cognizant of where pullbacks might occur. And so where we could possibly see price turn around, of course, we could see price pull back to our support here of 95,835 to approximately 96,257, essentially this zone right here. I personally have limit bids placed right here around 95,000 just in case we get a kind of a sharp sell off and a steeper correction, grabbing large liquidity. So that's how I would basically be playing this right now. And then other than that, we've got a bullish 5-minute trend, 30-minute trend, 1-hour trend, a neutral 4-hour trend that is about to turn bullish very soon, bullish daily trend, bullish weekly trend. So far, life pretty good. Cannot complain. Let's go over and check out Ethereum. Let's see here. Mr. Unicorn, good to see you, my friend. He says, happy Friday. What are my thoughts on the BTC USD weekly BBWP starting to trend down in the last 2 weeks? Well, I want to go look at, so let's assume, because I'm assuming your question is, hey, this is kind of a concerning signal, might be a sign of a top. One thing, it's important to remember that BBWP is not a momentum indicator, so it doesn't give us direction, it just gives us volatility, all right, which we can use as a proxy, or we can use to try and guide our trading decisions in some way, shape, or form. Again, simple rules around volatility. Low volatility areas are pretty good for entries. For breakouts, expecting a low volatility to precede high volatility. So we're looking for a breakout of that zone. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes low volatility just leads to a fake out and then more low volatility and then a fake out and more. So anyways, but we know that high volatility is often a early warning sign of a top. Okay. But we have to be a little cautious in remembering that, because again, volatility can spike, RSI can get overbought, and we still have a lot left to go. So I want to look at maybe a comparable area of the market, which would likely be the market cycle peak in 2021. So as we can see here, BBWP on the weekly time frame basically rose throughout, just the early stages of the market cycle. Okay, I want to point this out. Rose through the early stages of the market cycle, and then it basically flatlined at a high, and throughout all of the upcycle, and then started trending down. All right. But notice that it was, look, I would say it starts to trend down maybe here is when it crosses again underneath. And we still have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pretty good weeks left in us. All right. Before actually volatility starts to turn up, once the big moves are already starting to happen. And then here we can see actually volatility trend down and go flat and sideways throughout this entire 50% move in Bitcoin. So I think it's a little less, and yeah, here we go. For example, here we go. Volatility spikes up right here. Volatility basically trends down for this entire period, but it isn't until we're about halfway through the pump, the volatility starts to trend back up again. So of course, on the weekly time frame, it's Justin, really? You forgot to turn sticky half shutter on? Pause for the cause. My dear Lord, how unprofessional of me. Because I had to turn the ISO down on my camera because of the sunlight. Sorry, let's get some tunes going. Soft vibes, loving it. Now, I will point out, of course, that weekly BBWP trending down was a good sign of this lowering volatility in this consolidation area. And yes, in this cycle, it did act as a good early warning sign for the winter doldrums, which again, both would align for both scenarios that I've pointed out. Either we're somewhere like this, maybe, okay, where I just want to point out that in a previous bull cycle, when we just had 2 weeks of downside and then a strong weekly buyback, we were only halfway through the market cycle. I just want to point that out. But it would also align if we do enter into the winter doldrums, which is my bear case right now. So either or, interesting, something to keep our eyes on. But I'm gonna basically be a little bit more responsive to price action, because one thing that is clear is that weekly BBWP did not max out yet. All right, we got pretty close, but we did not max out. Oh yeah, one thing I'm very, very, very firm on is that we are not at the top. But I think, but good point out, and I appreciate that question, because that is something that is very interesting to see. So again, it would confirm either the 3-month consolidation, but we want to be a little too cautious. We want to be cautious, but I do not want to be too bearish. All right. Because I mean, crypto is so surprising, man. It is the gift that keeps on giving. You know what I mean? We lay out, you know, it's kind of like the bell curve meme, right? Let me go see if I can find, I just saw like a good one earlier. Oh, it's from Alex Kruger. Alex Kruger. Where is it? There we go. It's kind of like this. Like, you know, crypto is so humbling to me sometimes, you know, where I'll just sit there and I'll have all these like intelligent conversations and go over all this analysis. And then I'm like, number go up. You know what I mean? All right. Did we hit the target yet? No. Not yet. Did we? I don't think so. Order's still on the books. Missed it by $6. $6. All right. We wait. Sticking out your good to see you too, Bflow. Good to see Daniel, Saga Alpha Club. We've got Nit and Soki in here. Bflow says the VI vortex indicator is a good one for volatility. I changed the lines to waves. Let me take a look at that. This one? Let me know what that specific name is, please. Man, sorry. A little congested. Echelon show. Yes, we are getting to Solana. But first, Ethereum. Ethereum. Weekly time frame. Let's take a Gandy here. Recalculating. The one right at the top. Like just this one right here. I changed the lines to waves like this. I don't know if I really like that. I don't like that either. I kind of like the lines. So we've got volatility up, volatility down. You know, I like that a lot too. I like the 80x of volatility. Signal, go. Signal, go. Signal, go. Looks good to me. The lines are... It's been a long time since my 20s, man. Okay, Ethereum on the weekly time frame. Pullback again to the 10 weekly exponential moving average. So overall pretty good, maintaining bullish structure. So far a higher low on the weekly time frame. Of course, big panic sell fear pullback. All right, but again, Ethereum can do good things. I am less bullish on Ethereum moving forward than I probably should be. I just am really starting to lose the luster for Ethereum. But again, maybe I'm just trying to be trendy, and it's trendy to be hating on Ethereum right now. All right. Looking at our weekly high volume nodes, we basically have just traded through the biggest high volume node point at 3,445. We do basically have clear skies up to our next area of interest, which is going to be 3,845. So I think Ethereum is likely going to move quite quickly through that relatively low volume node back to that area of interest where we have. So 3,835. So I would say should be pretty easy to hit that. Should be about 6% more to the upside, at least in the short term. Weekly momentum is moving to the upside. Overall, pretty good. Weekly bullish trend above all major moving averages. On the daily time frame, as I kind of talked about, big pullback to our daily momentum bands, or excuse me, to our daily EMAs. A long period of consolidation. Overall, pretty good. And now a pretty strong, clean breakout. Volatility got very, very low as I identified. And so when volatility gets low, you typically just trade the first breakout that comes. And it looks like we are breaking out to the upside. Daily RSI is turning back up to the upside as well. Looking at this chart, again, Ethereum just blew past its previous high volume node at 3,496 on the daily time frame, giving us our next area of interest, again, right around 3,800. Pretty low volume node from there to there. So Ethereum should be able to get there pretty quickly without a whole lot of resistance. Don't see a whole lot of resistance there. On the 4-hour time frame, again, neutral trend that is about to flip bearish. Volatility is rising, momentum is rising. 4-hour is overbought. All right, and we are coming up to a little bit of area of resistance here, but it's actually a low volume node from 3,594 to about 3,700. So we either see, but again, low volume nodes also are places where they run stops. So I would estimate that we either see kind of a stab up to 3,654 and then a pullback, probably back into 3,528 to run stops there. We either then end up coming back down and finding support around 3,480, and then we finally make that push to 3,713. So, but overall pretty good. I would be long Ethereum. I am long Ethereum. Well, I'm holding Ethereum spot, but I digress. Recalculating Ethereum on the 1-hour time frame. Basically a bit of a blue sky breakout on the hourly time frame. Big volume spike here. Overall pretty good. Hourly volatility is maxed out and the hourly RSI is overbought, so you do want to be cautious with fresh long entries right here. Pullbacks could occur around 3,553 or about 3,520 is where I see gaps in liquidity. So again, it's where lots of stops are going to be. That's where resting orders are going to be sitting. What we don't really want to see is price get accepted back below 3,500. That would be a little negative. 30-minute time frame. Again, bit of a blue sky breakout. High volume node at 3,606, high volume node at 3,585, and gaps in liquidity right where we're at right now. And gaps in liquidity basically from 3,574 down to 3,539. So let's say right here. Is where I'd be looking for entries in the short term. Overall, pretty good. Solana. Oh, Solana. Weekly time frame. Again, deviation below the 10 weekly exponential moving average, but bounce off the 30. So not bad. Overall, rising volume in this trend. Weekly volatility has turned, or excuse me, weekly momentum has turned back up to the upside, but not across the RSI moving average yet. Overall, pretty good. Let's reset chart view and take a gander at where our high volume nodes are. Next major bump is going to be around $238.52. That is an area of interest for Solana. Relatively low volume node from there to there, although we do have a bump on the volume profile right here at 220. So potentially a little bit of resistance, perhaps a pullback here. A little too, I'm really reading the tea leaves here though. So let's go down for some more granularity on the daily. Recalculating. Daily momentum is also moving up to the upside. We are now trading above all major moving averages on the daily. We've got the 10 period moving up, which is good to see. Price basically came down and retested the 200 daily simple moving average and was able to hold and maintain. Rising volume above this consolidation volume so far on this pump. No massive big volume spikes yet. Excuse me. And let's see here. So yeah, we are encountering this area of interest at 218 to about 220. It's a pretty low volume node above that. So all the way from 220 to about 234, 235 is pretty much clear skies. Next area of interest is going to be about 237.30. So if we did get pullbacks here, probably worst case scenario is a fill at 200. That's where stops are going to be ran right here, because I'm seeing a gap in liquidity at about 200 to 203. So that is probably where I'd be setting limit orders for daily long swings, is at 200. And I would probably be taking short-term profits here, or setting limit orders here at 237. But depending on what kind of momentum we get, I don't want to be too bearish, but because we can just blast right through this, but just pointing out that we do have volume profile resistance here. If we are able to get above this area, which usually it doesn't just happen all in one alley-oop, like I said, from 220 to about 235 is pretty much clear skies, and hopefully we get accepted back at 237. That would be very good to see. If we can get all the way back up to 237, then we really are talking potentially continuation and renewed alt season, because then we're going to be seeing fresh highs. 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame is overbought. All right. I'm seeing 220 as a little bit of short-term resistance because there's a liquidity gap there. So this is likely where a lot of profit taking is going to hit. We would need to get all the way up to 226 to kind of rule out a pullback at this point in time. Otherwise, I probably see in the short term here on the 4-hour time frame, something like short orders being filled around 220, and then probably running stops down to about 212, down to about 202, as I said, because I see liquidity gaps there. So those are going to be good targets. Areas of interest are going to be 217, where we're currently consolidating. So if we do consolidate and move sideways here for a little bit, then again, like I said, I'd probably set limit orders around 211 and 202 to grab stop runs to the downside. Right now, if I were wanting to counter trade this, I'd probably be setting a limit order to get a short filled around 220. 220.50 with a stop loss at 226. Again, targeting that same fill orders for the longs. What did I say? 212, 210, and 200, 202. Pretty good. 4-hour RSI is overbought though, so I'd be a little cautious on longing, market longing here. Hourly time frame, pretty much a blue sky. On the hourly time frame, area of interest right here, high volume node consolidation at 217. For very bullish continuation, consider getting orders filled at 216, but I'm not really feeling that. Area of interest below us is going to be high volume node at 214 and 212, as I kind of talked about. Big volume spike here, hourly RSI overbought. Hourly volatility almost maxed out, so it's a little bit of a stretch to expect immediate continuation from this one. We are seeing some distribution right here. But I will say rising volume into this pump, so I don't want to be too bearish. But still, I would be taking short-term profits on Solana and expecting a bit of a pullback. Or a banana, or, you know, alternatively like a bananas pump. But I mean, you guys trade your own account. I don't know. 30-minute RSI is overbought as well. 30-minute momentum, or excuse me, volatility is not maxed out, but pulling back. And then again, looking at areas of interest here on the 30-minute time frame, I'm seeing liquidity gaps at 216.30, and then an area of interest at 213, 214, and then 30-minute point of control at 207.65. But we got a bullish 5-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, neutral daily, bullish weekly. Overall, looking pretty decent. Where am I at? We've got XRP next. My one, my lord, my baby. Stable coin no longer, XRP. Non-believers be damned. XRP army going absolutely insane. So, thanks, Peckham. I appreciate you, man. Peckham is long on H-bar at spot 234 on December collapse day. Not too smug, but 25x on $15 is nearly $200 in profit. TP at 36, but I do just ball it. It's not good, man. Love to hear it. Oh, do I just baller it to 96? H-bar. H-bar is over here. No, H-bar is over here. Yep. Do we just baller it to 96 cents? Well, listen. Did you say 96 cents? A 3x out of H-bar from current prices? It's possible. There's a lot of bullish enthusiasm. Right? I don't want to say it's impossible. That is a big stretch, though. I mean, heck, I'll use some weird fib to fib levels. All right, let's go bottom of the market, top of the market, pull back. All right, well, if we got the same movement that we already experienced, that would be putting us up around 57 cents. All right. 1.618 fib extension is going to be putting us around 79 cents. 2.618 around $1.13. So I don't want to rain on anybody's bullish parades, but me personally, I would just look around 44 cents. Look around 57 cents, and I'd probably look around 70 to 80 cents. All right. That's being optimistic, but not impossible. Definitely not impossible that we see, because what's its market cap? CoinGecko. Because overall market caps are still pretty low, man. Hedera Hashcraft market cap. What are we looking at? 12 billion. Yeah. So the idea that Hedera Hashcraft can hit 20-40 billion that's doable. Easy peasy. I say that and then the market just completely crashes. XRP. Doge will be next. Thank you, Echelon Show. I appreciate the sub. I really got to get the Streamlabs alerts back on here. It really bothers me that they're not on here. Give me like 10 seconds. This one right here. Streamlabs. Maybe I can just grab real quick. log in with YouTube. Continue. I'm pretty sure I just copy and pasted the browser source because I was using slobs. Okay. Alert box. Click to copy widget URL. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to add a browser source. Oh, whoops. $2025-103. Okay. All right. We'll see if that works. You guys let me know. I've got the alert box. I've got, oh, we can just test it. YouTube subscriber. Yes, it is working. Look at that. Good stuff. We want to put that like right about there. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. And then one more thing. We want to go. No, I don't think we need any of that. Just the alert box. Okay, life's good. All right, sorry. Appreciate you guys letting me get that set up. I've been wanting to do that for a hot minute. Especially when Yes to Crypto comes in here and just gifts. You know what I mean? Oh, speaking of Yes to Crypto, what's up, man? Okay, XRP. Pullback, a more bullish pullback than anything else, basically. Did not actually reach what? We're testing $50. You don't test with $50, man. You test with like two. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I am, you know what? I swear to God, I'm on Farcaster. I have it on my phone, right? I keep getting these notifications and people are like, come talk to us. And I'm like, yeah, I don't even have enough time to breathe. Oh no. Listen, my kids are going to eat just fine. Okay. My kids will always eat just fine, but your guys' generosity is amazing, dude. Never feel like you have to come on here and do anything. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Mud, for the $50, and of course, thank you to everybody who generously donates. Appreciate you guys to crypto, man. XRP. Jeez. Weekly volatility maxed out. Weekly RSI is overbought. All right. Let's just point out those things. Okay. Doesn't mean the run is over. All right. Because gosh damn, it would be really nice if XRP just like continued moving on. All right. Daily time frame. All right. Let's talk about this potential bull trap. All right. Potential bull trap that we are experiencing right now, coming up across diagonal resistance. All right. What we don't want to see is a top wick at this point in time. If we see a top wick, I'm probably going to cycle out because I cycled heavily into XRP on the dip, holding XRP and Phantom mostly. All I have to do is post my redacted subberies. Oh, so basically just post there and then cast when I go live with the link. Okay, can you tell me? Yes to Crypto. I will add that into my workflow. But what you need to tell me is how I can do all this from my desktop computer in a browser and not with the, because all I have right now is the Warpcast app on my phone. That just doesn't fit into my desktop workflow. So if you can tell me how to do all this, go to warpcast.com, click login, scan QR code. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put that in my, not going to do it right this second, but I'm going to do it over here in my X browser. Okay, bet. All right, I will do that after the stream. All right, so potential bull trap on XRP. I'm still long. Calm down. I'm still long. Falling volume, not the greatest sign. Okay, so I am at this point concerned about a wick. All right, I am concerned about a wick. If we do get a rejection here, I'm probably going to cycle out of XRP. And we should. What is happening? Oh, Dr. Mystery, thanks for the sub, man. I took my. Yeah, I just everything. My workflow is all desktop. It's all desktop. All right, cool. That way I can cast. Can I? And then I can use. Well, I'll have to see, because I use Restream. So if I can RMTP cast to it and add it into Restream, that would be amazing. What? What are we doing? I'm not even on Farcast yet. What are you doing? You know what's so funny? You just, yes to crypto, you just gifted me a membership. Okay? You just gifted me a membership, man. Woo! That's a first, man. That has never happened before. That's definitely never happened before. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, dude, you got the big dogs with that one, man. You got the big dogs with that one, dude. My goodness. Oh. There he is. Bam. Justin Wise, finally a member after 7 long years, finally a member of the channel. Justin, we're so proud of you. Welcome, guys. Make sure to thank your gifters. Thank you so much, Yes to Crypto. You are the man, brother. Okay. We've been on XRP for like a long time, but it's good. Welcome all the new channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's do oh, we got more? They're still coming? B-Flow. There's 2 more. Chase and Sean. One more. One more. Let's get it out of your system. Let's get it all out. Good stuff. Whew. Big breaths, everybody. Big breaths. We made it. Okay. Okay, here's what I will say. Area of interest on XRP. Point of control, excuse me, basically not the overall point of control, but the local point of control. All right. Mud with the $20, man. Thank you so much, dude. What an ISON? What do you mean? What an B-Flow? Man, we just talked about lines, bro. What do you mean, dude? Mud, thank you so much for the $20, brother. And yes, indeed, shout out to Yes to Crypto. He's been stream taken over by the viewers. That's why we do the live stream. Okay? That's why I don't, just sit here. I'll tell you the truth. Right? Because obviously I've gone back and forth on this over the years. Like, do I do the live stream, right? Or do I sit down and do a pre-recorded video? And a lot of people have argued with me that like, hey man, if you do the pre-recorded video, you can like optimize it better for the SEO and you'll probably get more views and you can kind of cover like what's trending and whatnot, right? Versus the live stream. And I'm like, and they're like, it'll save you time. I'm like, no, it won't. I don't think anybody has any idea how long it actually takes to sit down and do a pre-recorded video. Even like just doing this, okay, where it's like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I don't have to do multiple takes. I sit down, I click record, I do it all in one rip. It's fine. It still takes 2 hours. It takes 2 hours to do like a 30-minute video, all right? Because first I got to kind of plan out what I want to do. Then I got to record the thing. And then I have to go over and put it in Adobe Premiere. I've got to edit it. I've got to the intro. I got to add the outro. There's a whole additional things that I have to do. Whereas with the live stream, all I have to do when I wake up in the morning is I write my morning report. I write my unlocked report for the Crypto Trading Academy members. I check in with everybody. I syndicate it across all my platforms, send it out. And then, well, as part of that process, I make the daily thumbnail, right? Because I have the thumbnail for the newsletter now. So that's all done in the morning. I usually have all that done by like 9 a.m. on a good day, right? This last week's been kind of crazy, but today was very healthy. I got everything out very quickly, like normal. So yeah, doing the pre-recorded video, not any quicker, just say that. Okay, back to business, guys. Daily volatility turning the upside. Daily momentum is turning back up to the upside here on XRP. Again, the only thing that's concerning here on XRP, even though I am long, is the falling volume. Although we do have rising volume on this push, which is good to see. All right, it's good that we have rising volume off of this failed push, but I would like to see some bigger volume. I'd like to see volume continue to rise. We could technically look for support if price does pull back around $2.42, $2.40. Okay. But the only thing I'm really concerned about here is a big wick to the upside. If I don't see a big wick to the upside, then I'm really not that concerned. I'm really not that concerned. Even if we like basically have a pullback here without a wick, I'm really not too concerned. What I am concerned about is something like a daily rejection candle. I don't want to see that here on XRP. Failing that, again, it's pretty low volume nodey, all the way down to like $1.90. All right. But again, I would be setting long positions at $1.97 at this point in time if we were to clap back down to those areas. And again, it is possible we find acceptance either here at around 225 or even potentially around 216. On the 4-hour time frame, we are also coming up to that horizontal level of resistance, and also we are trading slightly above the 4-hour point of control. BTC abrupt to break 99k. Hey, looks like, did we get our order filled? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got our order filled. All right, so Trading Academy members, TP1 in the bag. Loading. Get that web page loading. What's wrong? There we go. Gotta double check that. Have to double check that. 99.6 is correct. I don't have short-term memory loss. Bazinga. BTC, we'll get back to you. XRP, 4-hour time frame. Biggest area of interest is going to be $2.41. All right, that is where the point of control is. I am seeing a gap in liquidity right at $2.49, $2.50. So likely to get that hit before up again. That's what I don't want to see on the daily time frame. All right, I gotta think really carefully about this because the 4-hour actually looks pretty good. The 4-hour does not look toppy. So maybe I just need to have a little bit more chutzpah down to 4-hour support. No, I still am going to hold to that because of where I entered, which was basically here. So if I see a daily wick and we do reject from here, I'm probably going to cycle out of XRP and then attempt to buy a pullback to 220. I don't want to manage it too much. I probably should just chill and hold. 4-hour is grinding overbought conditions right now, falling volume on the 4-hour time frame as well. So we either get a big volume movement up to like 250, maybe even 256, and that either closes and holds, which is good, or wicks, which is not good. Wicks, probably a pullback at least to 220. And again, I'll be a little speculative on that because again, we're kind of in that bull trap area. So I don't recommend fresh entries on XRP right this moment. I kind of want to let this play out a little bit. But if you're holding XRP, just hold XRP. It's fine. If you're like me and you know, you like to punish yourself. On the hourly time frame, again, area of interest here, $2.40. That's where we currently have support. Other than that, as far as the hourly goes, it's kind of a blue sky. Still have the hourly momentum. So again, don't want to get too bearish. Everything's fine here. 30-minute momentum is still bullish. Again, pretty much a blue sky here on the 30-minute time frame. We are trying to grind past the local resistance of $2.45. So far, looking pretty good. We did have local rising volume into this, falling volume right now, though. So a little weak in the short term. We are in the value area high, so an area that's kind of ripe for rejection. So in summary, does kind of look like XRP. I don't want to say XRP wants to pull back here. We're just seeing some kind of initial signs of potential weakness in the short term, which would kind of make me want to go hold on to something else. The realistic scenario here is okay. So here's the realistic scenario. All of the trends are bullish. Okay. So when all of the trends are bullish, you really don't want to get too bearish. All right. We are at daily and 4-hour resistance. So I would be hesitant if I wasn't already in XRP in profit. I wouldn't recommend anybody entering now. If XRP sells off here pretty strong and we lose 30-minute momentum, I would probably exit XRP and I would wait for price to come down to something like 220 or to regain 30-minute momentum. However, I will say, and this is the other reason that I just want to hold on to my XRP for right now, is because when we look at basically structure on the 4-hour time frame, even though I see falling volume, I see price grinding along and everything else is looking pretty good. So I want to leave the option open for basically price to give me that wick. We'll go back to the daily time frame. This would be a good scenario for me. All right. Look at the previous topping wicks on the daily time frame. Look at these wicks. All right. Okay. Price is going to have to do a lot more than that. So it'd have to wick up to something like here, like 262, 270, something like that. All right. So in that scenario, when I then come down and like, okay, well, that's like a pretty arbitrary area. Where does market structure suggest that could happen? We'll go to the 4-hour time frame. And if I look at 4-hour market structure, I see a void in liquidity right here. Okay. 266. So that's what I would like to see. And I want to leave myself open to that potential pump. And if that potential pump happens and then price pulls back and holds like the point of control and flips 250 as now resistance, flips it into support, well, then we're probably going to make a new ATH and XRP's price or climb toward $3. So thank you, Bflow. Might go up, might go down. So in my situation, I want to hold because I see that bullish scenario playing out and I can see how that bullish scenario could lead to further bullishness. But I wouldn't be entering XRP here right now. There are going to be other cleaner entries, things that are pulling back while other things are pumping, because you can't listen, it's always good to be in something that's pumping right now. It feels great. It feels good, but that's not going to be your experience all the time. And if you chase that experience all the time, you're constantly going to be buying tops. All right. Sometimes, and a lot of the times, you just have to be patient and wait for your coin's turn to pump, which if your coin isn't dog shit, it most likely will. Right? You just got to wait for your sector's turn, for your coin's turn, for your turn. A lot of people struggle with that because they always want to be like, for example, like I'm holding XRP, Helium, Phantom, and those are my big positions, and Ethereum. Those are my big positions for large caps. And when I look over here at my scanning chart, I'm like, man, I wish I would have cycled into ENA and SUI and Deep. I do have some Deep and Mansell. Okay. But I chose my picks for a reason. Their time will come. All is good calm. All is good calm. Where were we? Okay. Yeah, I'm done with XRP. I'm done with XRP. I want to talk about Dogecoin now. I want to talk about the Dogecoin. Echelon Show asks, I know you went over Solana already, but I have another question I hope you can answer. What do you think Solana's price will hit within the next couple of hours? Oof. Okay. Easy question. All right. Went over all this, but I got to refresh myself on the important numbers. Okay. Given the fact that we are at a high volume node, again, 4 hour looks pretty good, or the daily looks pretty good. The 4 hour looks pretty good. We basically have regained bullish momentum on everything but the daily is likely to get there if this continues. I would say I see a liquidity void here. Where did I see it? I see a liquidity void at 222. So I would say kind of bearish case scenario, a wick up to 222 if we don't get rejection here from 220. Other than that, I would say within the next couple of hours, either that 222 or 203. But I don't know if within the next couple of hours. Because sell-offs happen fast. And as I said, we were looking over at the chart, I said 210. I believe I said 210 and 202 is where I would want to set limit orders to buy back into Solana. This is basically what I said. Yeah, so Solana kind of in the same boat as XRP at resistance. And then the next couple of hours, let's go to the 30-minute time frame, see if I can give you a more short-term projection, which is just a projection. Probably 216 within the next hour. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you think trading or analysis is, man. Like, I can't predict the future. You don't have to. Like, if I could tell you, if I knew for sure what Solana was going to do, I would never do anything except have winning trades every single day. I would have no anxiety in my life. I would not have to ponder the bullish or bearish cases. And I can't trade your account for you. I can only trade mine. So what I'm doing is I'm laying out exactly what I would do given certain scenarios. It matters, well, how are you positioned? Would I be longing Solana right this second on like the 30-minute time frame? I would not. If Solana pushes to the upside here, I would be taking profit in the short term on short-term trades at that void that I identified on the 4 hour time frame. All right. I'm also not in the business, okay, of making broad sweeping proclamations on things I don't feel very confident in. And nobody should feel very confident on meso or lower time frames. When I am confident, though, you know what I do? I take a trade. I take a trade. I put my money where my mouth is. But yeah, Solana probably in the short term, it's 216 at the very least. And this does look a little toppy. If we're able to put in another, like, if Solana grabs liquidity, like I said, where did I say that void was at? 220? 222? So it does look like they're trying to front run resistance. And I would pay attention to, like I said, what did I say? Big picture, 210 and 200. That's where there's liquidity voids. So bullish case, we only come down to like 210. That would be very good. Retest this as resistance. Crypto is rarely that clean, but again, that would maintain the 30-minute uptrend. So that would be my base case scenario. If we fail that, then I'd set limit orders at 200, 202, and front run the 200 SMA. Because I do think alt season continues. When, yes, I know you do. Yes to crypto. When you know what? I keep hounding them. It was they were supposed to release it in November, but then they said they wanted to retool it and make it better. So it's coming. I'll tell you what, they're a little, I think they're a little focused on adding, they're adding all these pairs, man. That's what I like about ByDFi, is that, like, literally, if we go to ByDFi, and hey, by the way, Echelon Show, I'm sorry if I got a little hot there, man. I'm trying to help you out, man, as much as I can. It's just hard for me to see exactly what your account is, exactly where you're positioned. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, like, look at all these new tokens, right? And this is just on derivatives, okay? Appreciate it, man, because this is a bitch free zone, man. God bless you, dude. Oh, fuck my life. All right, but if we go to spot trading, these guys just add everything. All right, now look what they got for AI. All right, where are the, yeah, here's the alpha means. They got A16Z on here already, AI XBT. All right, Clanker. They got Graphane on here already. They got Luna AI on here already. Just crazy. Glad to have you here, man. Okay. Oh, wait a second. We need to do something real quick. I do need to move my stop up. On this trade, we entered at like what, 97,100, I do believe. Entry price at 97,160. Now we've hit TP1. I don't really want to set it there. Do I think that I should? Setting it here is just a bad idea, because of course that's where BTC is going to go run liquid. Why don't I just look at the volume profile? Come on, Justin. Actually, look at the data. Go away. Yeah. Stop losses are there. They're going to run those for sure. I really can't move my stop loss up at all. I just have to have it. Yeah, I just have to have it down here. I suppose I can move it here at this point in time. 97,663. There we go. That's a little bit better. I suppose I could be super aggressive and set it here, which is probably the right thing to do. Because if we don't hit, if we just don't continue this push, then no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because I can see Bitcoin coming down here, tapping, and then pushing back up. I've seen it happen too many times. I just feel like that's a little thirsty. Got you. Hey, M3TZ, good to see you, man. Yeah. All right, we're gonna chill for right now. Nothing to do. Did we even do Doge yet? For the love of God. All right, Dogecoin. Ooh, take your time. Dogecoin, again, similar to XRP, had a pretty sharp sell-off and is bouncing back very, very strongly. Strong weekly candle. Overall falling volume on the weekly time frame. All right, overall falling volume on the weekly time frame. Nothing too insane, because usually after a sharp sell-off, volume is low. And we can actually see kind of a similar occurrence. What I'm trying to compare Dogecoin to is basically this, what we saw in 2021, where we had that, you know, insane week here and then a sharp sell-off. Okay, and then look at the volume on the next candle. It was actually really low. It was actually really low relative to the previous two candles, because again, we're trying to compare it to these two volume candles, and it's just not going to compare. We have to compare it to like these volume candles, and we can see there it's like 3 times the volume. So I want to try and get us to do that here. All right. Yes, this is a low volume candle. Okay. But relative to these candles right here, it is about the same. Okay. So nothing too crazy. Any other thing I see that's super significant here on the weekly? Not tremendously. Next area of interest on the weekly time frame is going to be about 41 cents, where I see that bump on the high volume node. A little bit of a void at 39 cents, so perhaps that gets front run. That's about all I see. Weekly RSI did get overbought, pullback. Momentum is turning back up to the upside. Weekly volatility did not get maxed out, so I will point that out. On the daily time frame, pretty strong daily candle movement, break out of this consolidation area where volatility dropped very, very low. And again, when volatility drops really low, you buy the first breakout and price has broken to the upside. On the daily, we do show nice rising volume. Daily momentum is turned back up to the upside. Points of interest are going to be 38 to 40 cents. So likely we grind through here a little bit. Which is kind of, I guess, what I'm kind of, I don't want to say fearing, but sensing in the back of my mind with a lot of these altcoins. Basically, you can see that because here's the thing. I want to put you, I need to put you guys, I want you guys to check your own psychology. A lot of these coins, yeah, it is. It's just volume and Doge. You're absolutely right. A lot of these coins, like XRP and Doge here, are coming up. There, of course, there's some different coins, right? But we're not talking about those coins. We're talking about Doge, all right? We're talking about, I'm talking about SUI, ENA, Deep, things that are making like new highs, a different structure. We're not making new highs in Doge, okay? We had a big pullback. We didn't have a big pullback in SUI. We didn't have a big pullback in ENA, prospectively. We had a big pullback on Doge and XRP. So a big glut of initial profit taking. Think of the panic, think of the fear. A lot of people were up very bigly on Doge, okay? And then just had to sit through this. And they're like, oh, price is kind of back up here. Maybe I should take profit. So you're going to be facing that resistance. You're also going to be facing the late stage suckers who bought here and maybe are trying to get out of break even. So typically, price does not, like, we've had a very big move, but look what we made that very big move through, okay? Through this low volume node. Look on the left-hand side of the screen, low volume node. There's no volume here. Okay, no volume here. That's why we're able to cut through and have a big greenie like this. All right. Now I'm bullish for continuation on altcoins. All right. The fundamentals look pretty good and it aligns with my timeline. But next couple of days might be a little bit more of a slow grind with volatility. All right. Chop people out, maybe even a pullback here. Because the area of interest right now is 34 cents. All right, that's where I see the biggest void in the volume profile. That would also be a retest of previous resistance turn support, and that would be a pretty good trade setup. Re-entry at around 34 cents for continuation up to 45, probably. Entries here, you could scale off half profits here at 40, and again at 45, or consider if you want to hold for a higher high, which is very possible. Overall, Doge looks pretty good. I'm very bullish on Doge, even though it's not reflected on my chart. In my alpha report, I actually do have Doge, quite a bit of it, in cold storage. It's complicated. What? Hold on, I got to reload the chat. I lost it. Okay. Guys, give me 1 sec. I have got to blow my nose. It is absolutely ridiculous. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep sniffling. Nobody wants that. Don't go anywhere, or else. Breathe deeply. So definitely probably a choppy zone for Doge for the next couple of days. Very promising early pump. Okay. So my thinking is, again, area of interest 34 cents to run back up to 40 cents to run back up to 43, 45 cents. 4 hour time frame. Again, overbought RSI. 200 SMA resistance. Volatility is not maxed out, so maybe a little bit more juice left in the tank. Pretty big volume spike right here. Still high volume, so overall not bad. But again, I do see an area of interest right here at 38,866. But likely we hit the void at 39.1. Okay, which would also be the previous support level acting as resistance initially. What we want to do is we want to get accepted back up into this higher echelon trading range where resistance was 46 cents. Hourly time frame, bullish trend, pretty overextended. We're already seeing weakness here on the hourly time frame. Hourly volatility is maxed out. Hourly RSI is overbought. Let's see here. Area of interest is 37 cents. Probably though we hit 36.9. That's a sharp pullback, grab liquidity, and then continuation. Other area of interest is going to be 36.22. But probably in the short term, 36.9. 30-minute time frame, bullish momentum, but showing weakness. A lot of wicks to the upside here, looking quite toppy. 30-minute RSI is overbought. 30-minute volatility is maxed out. You can see the volume dropping here. That's quite bearish. 30-minute void here, yep, at 36.9. So yeah, I think we're 36.9 bound most likely. So looking like we're going to get some pullbacks here in the short term on our altcoins. That likely means we get the pullback here on BTC. So despite my earlier proclamations, we should probably just move our stop up aggressively if the market is going to pull back at 98,590. Yeah, and just call this one a day. That's almost assuredly to get hit. It's overall pretty good. That'll be, what did it say, 117. So started off the day with 1,600 and should have 1,900 by EOD on this position. So not bad. Mike STR1 over on Rumble. Good to see you, my friend. John Germain. Welcome in, man. Enjoy using those emojis, man. We should probably update them. Echelon Show says, dude, you deserve way more viewers. To me, it's insane how much value you gave in 84 minutes, and there's live streamers getting hundreds of thousands of views just making BS calls. Yeah, this is a problem we've had for a long time. I don't really do any marketing. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it's my beard. But, you know, we've been doing this since our channel is 7 years old. We used to be, so here's the thing, right? Just a little moment of clarity and honesty, right? You know, there are a couple things that I'm very, very passionate about. All right. One of them obviously is crypto, right? I love crypto. I love trading. I love analysis. I love math. I love statistics. I love putting together strategies. I like to code. I love trading. So, you know, I do what I love. So that's pretty cool. But I'm also really passionate about other things like parenting. I'm really passionate about parenting. I'm really passionate about politics. I'm really passionate about personal growth and development. And I think that attracts a certain audience. but I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and one of them has been my consistency with this channel, right? I've gone through a lot of changes over the last few years. So over the last, we started in 2018, late 2017 with this channel, and we grew really, really fast from 2017 to 2020, where we did used to have hundreds of people on the stream all the time, every day. And then I had some life challenges in towards the end of 2020, and I ended up taking a year off, basically in 2021, and then came back at the end of 2021 and was kind of hit and miss, all right, on the streaming. And it wasn't until late 2023 that I really late 2024, to be quite honest with you, that I really was able to get things consistent with the stream and with everything that we have going on. So in that sense, we're already growing really, really fast again ever since I've been consistent, and we just got to be patient. The people will come. All right. I think you're right. I think I do provide a lot of value relative to a lot of the junk that I see on YouTube. Not to say that there's not other great content creators out there, some that I respect a lot, but yeah, I mean, a lot of them are BS. And am I ever going to do like the hype stuff, that, probably not, I do have, like, there's things that I think are okay, but I don't really want to, I don't want to sell out or anything like that, or just, I already have kind of clickbaity titles sometimes, so I don't want to go too much farther than that. But it'll come. All right, it will come. I appreciate you guys. So you guys are early. You guys are in early. All right. To gain views, you have to use Michael Saylor's face in the thumbnail, and I'll title like BTC 100x in 2025 confirmed last chance. Yeah, exactly. That's the stuff I really don't want to make. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do make that stuff, like, on occasion. Like, go look at the titles of some of my pre-recorded videos. All right. I'm not perfect. And honestly, I have talked to a few people with suggestions on like how to grow the channel, and that's what they all say. They're like, yeah, man, you just gotta like make the videos with like 100x like Bitcoin, and I'm like, but isn't that like bad? And they're like, no, not if you provide value, dude. It's all good. So I don't know, hit and miss on it. Oh, that would be cool, man. I would appreciate that. My X username is it's cracking_crypto. You can find my the link is right in the description down below in the socials panel. I'm growing pretty fast on there too. I wasn't very active on there, but I started getting really active there at the end of 2024, and I've gone from 500 followers to now I have almost 2,000. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, very much appreciate that. Thank you, Echelon Show. Highly appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Mystery. Thank you, man. Like I said, we ground up to like 20,000, and then I took a lot of time off, and then we started off like 2024 with like 21,000, and now we're about to hit 25,000 here pretty soon. So I have faith, patience. It'll all come. Discipline, consistency brings results, and that's my own personal. It's just my own personal thing of being consistent and really loving and doing this every day. So if you build it, they will come. All right. I think we've covered the majors. Okay. Other things of interest. All right. Obviously, Athena flying. Okay. What I need to do here. M3TZ asks, what was my job before full-time trading? My last full-time job was nothing fancy. I worked in a factory. I started out as a just working on the line at Lennox. It's an air conditioning factory. Started off on the line. I joined at a time when they didn't have a lot of, it's a big factory, but they just kind of didn't have a lot of good employees, I would say. So I just joined, and I worked really, really hard, and I show up early, I stay late, all that kind of stuff. And so, please say OnlyFans creator. Only feet pics, man. I worked really hard at the factory and got promoted really, really quickly. Became a assistant group leader in like 3 months, and then they promoted me to full group leader after 6 months. I did that for about 6 months, and then they post salary jobs, and one came open for a pretty like lazy job, but there's a difference between between a unionized job, which is what I was doing, and then a salary job. Like you work for corporate, which is different. You're not in the union, but it also means that a lot of, like, I got like little perks and stuff like that, but I also got to work first shift, and I wanted to do that because I have kids. So I took that job. I did that job for about 4 months, and then they posted a job for a supervisor, and I applied for it, and I got it, and I did that for about a year. And at that time, I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life, because I was making like $27 an hour. So I was, we got a house and like all this stuff. And then I got laid off, and during that, like before I got laid off, I started getting into crypto in 2016. I had been trading Forex before that, and was already doing pretty good at Forex. And then I got into crypto in 2016, basically stopped trading Forex, just started trading crypto, got really serious about trading crypto, obviously in 2016, 2017. And it was in 2017 that we started cracking cryptocurrency, but then it was just me and some friends, and it was a small project. And then I got laid off, and I was like, well, I'm just going to do this. And it all just came together, right? I was able to support myself off of the profits that I had. And like I said, I had tried before to leave work and just trade, but I blew out, I did that with Forex, but I blew out my account twice. And so this was the third time, and I was just really good at saving money, and was able to store a lot of money away and just fund my trading account, build my trading account up. And I was very fortunate that my trading account was about $100,000 when I got laid off. And so I was able to just trade. So that's how I did it. And then obviously crypto in 2016, 2017 like really helped. And then 2020 and 2021. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And I try to just be real and show you guys exactly the mistakes that I made, man. But yeah, that's essentially how I did it. I just followed Dave Ramsey's advice. I worked really hard. I followed all of the business advice that I got of how to negotiate and get a higher job, get a higher pay, work my way up, and just ground, man. And lived within my means, stored money away, saved probably more than 50% of my income, honestly. And I did that for, a couple years. So, and then I built up my trading account. I got good at trading while I was doing that with, smaller accounts and growing them. And then I had the confidence to trade a $100,000 account. So yeah, I've been doing this ever since. Now I make income from trading. I usually, or this is what I've been doing for the last 2 years. I try to live pretty modestly, to be honest with you guys. I usually withdraw on average about $5,000 to $6,000 from crypto per month. And then I make, that's pretty much all I really need to live. And then I make I take an extremely nominal salary from cracking cryptocurrency. We barely make anything from the YouTube channel. And then we have some promotions and sponsorships, right? Like ByDFi Ledger, things like that. So that's about it. Profit Bear member for 47 months, dude. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Can we scope out on Jesus? It's looking like a sniper range. What do I think? Yeah, we'll talk about Jesus. I saw a pretty funny tweet that it looked like somebody was like, I think Judas is all out of coins, man. I think we're done selling. All right, I need to get one thing real quick. And that is going to be volume profile. Ooh, we added some new ones. Of course, time price opportunity. Oh, that's per bar, of course. I like the VRVP. Time price opportunity is fine. You guys can see I use it over here on CoinAnk. My order flow chart, pretty good little indicator. It's like basically, volume profile, but it's a little different. So yeah, I think we got our stop hit now. Yeah, so we got our stop hit, and as intended. So yeah, we started off the day with 1600. We're currently sitting at 1841. So life's pretty good. Whoa, no sir, I need you to be on the left. Yeah. ENA is obviously looking great. Big up day from ENA, up 20% on the daily. I do see a void in the volume profile here at $1.25. So a little cautious, and we do see falling volume, you know, even though this is a nice pump that's not on a ton of volume. So I bet that's basically all I'll say. We do have falling volume on the ENA pump. But again, long term, I really like ENA. I mean, it's definitely one of the best trades of the season. So I don't want to fade things that are too hot. It's only, again, there's really no reason to get bearish. And I know this is ironic, but there's really no reason to get like long-term bearish until we're down here. And that's why it's always tricky, right? It is tricky because you want to buy dips. Of course you do. But it's, again, when price does lose momentum on significant time frames, and you don't just want to wait usually until we like lose daily momentum, because then you've really lost opportunities to sell the top. So you just have to balance, you know, your risk and reward, right? Because not only are these great places to buy, but they're also places where price breaks down and enters into bearish trends. In this case, we seem to have found strong support at $1 on Athena, and we are now pushing back up and retesting the highs on the 4-hour time frame. Pretty strong volume. All right, so I wouldn't get too bearish. Athena looks good. Probably one of the best performers of 2024. Probably going to be one of the best performers of 2025. Sui, too big to rig. You know what I'm saying? Daily momentum is turned into the upside. Daily volatility had dropped extremely low, and we now seem to be breaking out to the upside. So Sui probably on the way to make new highs. XRP, love it. We already talked about it. Mantra Ohm held support really strongly at $3.40. All right, daily momentum is turned back up to the upside. Volatility is still quite low, so I think Ohm is probably still yet to put in a big candle to the upside. So Ohm is probably one to watch, maybe advantageous to position on. Pepe doing really good. Again, volatility dropped very, very strong here. Just a pullback here to the daily 50 and 60 exponential moving average. Overall uptrend is intact, even though we did put in a lower low. So anytime we do that, we do want to be cautious about a bull trap. Okay, we do want to be cautious about a bull trap. Oh wait, I gotta go apply that volume profile. Apply these indicators to the entire layout, please. Yes, 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 yes. Sorry, get a little happy sometimes. Not spending money on stupid stuff. Yeah, I do my best. I definitely don't spend money on stupid stuff. Probably the dumbest thing that I have bought. So, like, I will tell you this. I buy probably what I've spent a lot of money on is like computer accessories and things like that I don't necessarily need, but not too much. I pretty much use everything I have, and I've gotten a lot simplified with it now. But there was a period I do go through periods where I like buy things that I think I need for the stream or for my studio that I don't really need. But I keep that pretty low, again, relative to my income. It's not a big thing. I save about 50% of what I make still. And probably you could say it's the dumbest, but it's actually been a really smart choice. In 2021, I just walked into the dealership and I bought a Jeep Cherokee for cash. That felt pretty good to do because I've never done that. But I didn't really need it at the time. I was just kind of flexing. So I have the Jeep Cherokee and I have a Chevy Silverado. All my vehicles are paid off. And my Silverado is a little older. It's a 2013, but I'm going to drive it until the wheels fall off, and it's in great condition. I just ground off all the rust and applied a rust treatment coating myself like 2 years ago. So it's not rusty. Looks great. I might get a paint job, this summer. I wanted to do that last summer, and I did a little bit of it myself, but I'm not very good at paint, so it didn't come out that well. You gotta really just want a professional to do it. That's probably like the dumbest thing that I bought. But again, in retrospect, it was great because that thing's now my daily driver. And obviously it gets like 36 miles to the gallon relative to like the 15 miles to the gallon my Chevy gets. So I actually save a lot of money, even though my Chevy is flex fuel. So I fill it with the E88. So Crypto Caveman coming out of the cave. I haven't seen you in forever, dude. What's going on, brother? Awesome, man. I'm glad. We'll have to send you a new one, man. We got an updated logo. I still have to update our spread shirt. There's a lot of things I want to put on there. Like I've got some funny designs for, you know, I got some really funny designs, you know, for things like, you know, like the Trump pump, and, you know, like I just got some funny merch that I want to sell. We don't sell like any merch, but maybe if our merch was cooler and not just our logo, people would buy more of it. So, but we got a new logo now, so I got to update it, man. But I'm glad you still got that. For Pepe, we just broke through our first area of interest here on the daily time frame. I don't really see another void on the volume profile up to about 22.89. So that actually looks pretty good. Yeah, not too concerned. Pepe looks good. Mantle, obviously flying new high for Mantle. RSI is not overbought. Volatility is not maxed out. Mantle is, again, it's in my top picks for 2025. Oh, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is. Right, literally right there. Deep. Low cap Sui meme coin, or not, just low cap on Sui that I pointed out. This is doing really, really well. So you don't want to get too bearish too early. And I cycled back into helium. I think this is an undervalued deep end play. It's probably my favorite deep end play. So Lego. And again, like sometimes you just got to wait for your coin to move. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for my coin to move. It's going to happen. It's coming. Other things that I really like: Radium, Jito, HBAR, not Keck, Hyperliquid, and Phantom, of course, Aave. Those all look really, really strong, really, really good. As far as low caps that I'm currently trading right now, Yes, No Error, very much flying. Pilzumi, hit our first TP, let's pull back a little bit. Spore, Wrapped to Bitcoin, Zerbro, Olos, which I bought, and that's painful. Department of Government Efficiency is finally recovering, which looks really good. But my nothing bag is flying pretty hard. What are we up like? Yeah, 100% so far on this. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be looking at Jesus. My apologies. Oh, we've already been live for almost 2 hours. My goodness. XLM, Mike STR over on Rumble request. So we're gonna look at XLM, Jesus, and Cardano, and then we probably got to bounce out, guys. It's been good. It's been fun. It's been real. We didn't even look at global market. We got so many more things we could have looked at. Jesus is over here in low caps. I'm really liking this. Yeah, I mean, look, man, Jesus is at the lows. All right. Here we be. I added here. And I should probably just add here. Yeah. I should probably just add here as well. Yeah, I really do like Jesus here. Because look, huge volume spike on the low, clearly bought back up, and higher low. So what I want to see here is my Adam and Eve reversal pattern, right? Break of this neckline, pushing back up into our 4-hour, or excuse me, yeah, our 4-hour momentum bands. And then a run to the 200 SMA. All right. But I actually really do like this. This does look very bottomy. Okay. So you could try and snipe this, or again, wait for that breakout of this local top right here. About 7129. That's where I have it on my chart. Yeah, I saw the excitement on X. And to be honest, I haven't really seen that Jesus excitement yet, not throughout all this downtrend, but people got really excited about this dip. So I think that they're probably right. And keep in mind, like, hype is a big part of coins, meme coins. So anything else that's super interesting over here? No, let's go look at those requests. Never have I ever had Chrome crash during a live stream so much as today. Been using Brave browser exclusively since 2021, brother. Let's go see. We looked at Jesus. We looked at we have Cardano and then XLM. Why? Oh, why? What is going on here? It would be very prophetic indeed. There it is. All right. Cardano on the weekly time frame. Reset chart view. Let's see here. I would say overall looking pretty strong. Big picture view here. You know, typically anytime a crypto is consolidating underneath its 200 weekly or 200 daily simple moving average, it's long-term accumulation. And Cardano's cult is strong. I mean, Charles Hoskinson is going on this retreat. I don't really care that volatility is maxed out. Really, when I look at Cardano on the weekly time frame, this looks really, really bullish because it's a break above the 200 SMA, pullback retest. Next area of interest is honestly $1.86, which is almost a 2x. It's like 80% up. So from the weekly time frame perspective, that looks really good. Time transformation is pretty high. Weekly volatility is pretty high, but we've pulled back a little bit, and momentum so far on the weekly hasn't turned back up to the upside, but it's going to lag behind. On the daily looks quite different. Again, we have a nice rounded top. We have a sharp pullback to our 60 DMA. Strong breakout on rising daily volume. That's very, very good to see. Strong volume on today's daily breakout. Still a bullish daily trend. So far, just a pullback. And time transformation pretty much got oversold. Now moving up to the upside. Still in bullish control zone. Nowhere near overbought on the daily time frame. I think Cardano looks great. 4-hour time frame, again, breaking above that 4-hour 200 SMA. We are at the point of control, so maybe facing some short-term resistance. I'd like to see a pullback hold $1.02. If not, just filling this void. Yeah, so $1.03 is where we have a void. All right, that's where I'd like to see us pull back to. Hourly time frame, showing some sell signs right here. Hourly volatility maxed out. A lot of wicks to the upside here, so we do have some sellers right here. We'll see if we can overtake the sellers, or again, if we can get some of these voids filled at, like, yeah, basically $1.03 is where I'm seeing voids. More bullish though, I mean, there is a void here at $1.06, so that's where we have short-term support. And on the 30-minute time frame, we do have bearish divergence and pretty sharp resistance here at $1.09. A lot of wicks to the upside, liquidity getting grabbed. So again, maybe pull back here, like I said, $2, $3, or $6. Good to see you, Dougie. Cardano can hit $1. Jesus can hit a penny and be put on the penny. Let's do it. Let's go look at XLM on Bitfinex. Let's see here. Weekly time frame volatility is maxed out, but basically just creeping sideways, and that's nothing too crazy because look what when volatility got maxed out over here for XLM, it was really just the beginning. Again, on the weekly time frame, above the 200 weekly moving average, pull back to the 10. Overall, this looks pretty healthy, pretty good. I don't really have any big areas of interest because we are so near the all-time high. But XLM looks like it wants to continue to go. And XLM does benefit from the Trump trade narrative because it is an American coin likely to benefit from beneficial crypto regulation. On the daily time frame, we see that price has pulled back to our buy zone of the 50 and 60 DMA and is now breaking back above, retaining bullish momentum on the daily time frame. We had a buy signal over here at approximately 35 cents. Price put in a slightly, actually a higher low, even though it printed regular bullish divergence here. Volatility has cooled off a little bit and breaking to the upside on rising volume. So I quite like this. What is this? That is saying we're going to drop to 31 cents. Yeah, I don't know about all that. 4-hour time frame. Again, price breaking above the 4-hour 200 SMA. Would like to see a pullback hold 38 cents, maintaining that bullish uptrend. 4-hour time transformation got a little overbought. We do have a little bit of regular bearish divergence here going on in the 4-hour time frame. So again, like I said, pretty strong resistance around 45 cents, just like a lot of cryptos right now. So maybe a short-term pullback before we can actually break through. Hourly time frame. Showing some distribution here. All right. Like I said, looks like we have strong resistance at around 45 cents. Swatted price down a couple of times. A big volume push here. So a big sell just occurred on Bitfinex. And yeah. Area of interest. It's about 41 cents here on the hourly. And on the 30-minute time frame. Again, volatility has dropped really, really low. So I think we are getting ready for a breakdown. 30-minute probably says, again, we come down here to about 38 cents, which is going to line up with that 4-hour target of about 38 cents. Pull back to the 4-hour momentum bands. So overall, I think big picture, Cardano looks really, really good. Or excuse me, XLM looks quite good. The daily looks very healthy. Short term does look like we're in for a little bit of a pullback. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and with that, we are at 2 hours. My goodness. Woo! Guys, I want to thank you for watching all the way to the end of the stream. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, the middle, or somewhere close to the end, it's all good. If you came in close to the end, rewatch. There's a lot of good stuff on there. We went over so many things today. All right. We made money. All right. Woo. Don't forget to head on over to the first link in the description. Get yourself subscribed to our alpha report that comes out every single weekday, keeping you armed and dangerous with our data-driven research and insights into the market moves, our picks, our calls. Completely free. First link in the description. That's about all I got. Thank you guys so much. Again, as we move into 2025, focus on doing well with your accounts on your own personal prosperity. That is the greatest gift that you can take advantage of. Understand that markets aren't going to go up forever and that we need to be taking profits along the way, not when we think we feel like it. Because when prices go up, your greed glands will tickle and you'll never, it's very, very hard to take profit when price is moving up. Just better to set those objective targets and follow the strategy. If you want to support what we're doing, we do the show every single weekday from 12 to 2 Central Standard Time. 1 to 3 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboards. Like and subscribe. It really helps us out more than you could possibly imagine. We are growing very rapidly, and it's all because of your help. Shout out to today's top super chatters. Yes to Crypto, Mud. Highly appreciated, my friends. Thank you so much for the gifties and the super chats, guys. You are absolutely amazing. And shout out to Profit Bear, 47 months as a member of the channel. Mike STR1, thank you for watching us over on Rumble. We will be back again tomorrow. Or no, it's Friday. Oh my goodness. It's Friday. We will be back on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. So enjoy your weekend. It's probably going to be a pretty crazy and volatile weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So pack your bags, pack your popcorn, get your stop losses set, get your take profit level set, trade safely, and I will see you guys on Monday. Cheers.